to keep together for 25 years.
Well, that's a long time.
Isn't it? Kelsey found an interesting value there, didn't you?
Yes, if you do a little bit of math, then you can find my age pretty easily.
Getting close to the big 4-0 coming up.
Andrew, would you ever thought of that?
No. No, I would have thought of that at all. There's one one elementary teacher that I still, I had social media, and she still knew me by my name, and that was in the 3rd grade.
Oh.
And we cross our paths once in a while here and there, but no, yeah, that's 25 years. That's insane.
Well, you guys teach Common
With a
Core.
little bit of space in between there, but
Right.
then brought back together.
Yeah. Well, she had to get educated.
Well, she should have grown up. Yeah. But we got you back at about 22, right?
Yeah, I came back.
I love that. So we're glad you tuned in today. Share us, like us, because we're moving up with likes. We're getting an organic audience out there that consumes lunch break. So we're excited about that today. Yeah. So we are doing a lot of new things on Lunch Break 2.0. I think we're at segment 9. I think I keep looking at our producer who's drinking coffee.
For the fifth time.
Mike, can you pop in here real quick?
Yeah,
I got a question for you.
I'm in here. You know, I'm losing track, but I know we're like getting almost near a quarter of the way through season 2 here.
Yeah. Are you going to be okay to sleep tonight, Mike?
You know, I don't know. That's what I was up till like 3 o'clock. I was telling Andrew earlier, we were talking to him and his father-in-law, and I was up till 3 a.m. watching a TV show that his father-in-law turned me on to.
Yeah.
Oh man.
And
what show is that?
When Nathaniel tweets sitting there.
I could have called you when I was in bed when you first got up.
Yeah, I got up at 3 o'clock to go to work.
Oh, wow.
So tell LaDavia that it wasn't me that kept you caffeinated.
Yeah, she left.
Okay. So there again, as we have a lot of opportunities for you guys to participate, questions can come in through Facebook Messenger, facebook.com, and it's the Real Lunch Break Show. I like that.
That's on YouTube, right?
Yes.
And I will give you a plug to make sure you hit that subscribe button so you get that bell notification when you drop a new one.
You guys know that.
There you go.
We listen to our shows.
Yes.
I love it.
That's awesome.
You know I'm getting that one, right?
Yes.
Yeah, these girls are
We watch
quite
some YouTube.
They're taking over.
We have to. We work with children.
Yeah.
Well, the one thing I've noticed about being married to a teacher, and I don't know, I've never talked to David about this. She's got a wonderful husband, David Linnell. If you're out there, David, love you, brother. But my wife has a playground voice. Do you have a playground voice, Kelsey?
Teacher voice.
Teacher voice?
Yes, there's Kelsey, and then there's Mrs. Linnell.
Oh,
So.
man. Does David ever get the Mrs. Linnell?
Someday, sometimes,
My wife
Hard
has
to turn the bossiness off.
Sometimes in the grocery store, it's real hard to.
Preach it, sister. But my wife has some fur babies, and her and our ragdoll cat have this beef going on. And it's kind of interesting to watch because
Kelsey loves cats.
Yeah.
I love your cats.
Kelsey, you know Rocky, don't you?
Yes, I love your cats.
And so it will scratch furniture just to get her mad. And all of a sudden you hear the playground voice. I'm like, and it goes through me.
Rocky.
Oh, and I'm just like, it scares me. I'm like.
When they're hanging off a bar about to fall off, you have to get to them quickly and get their attention.
Yeah, they do. So it's just this playground voice that has me like. It freezes me in my step whenever I'm at the house, and I'm not even in trouble. And so it's funny. So David gets the Mrs. Linnell.
Sometimes.
Yeah, I try to leave that at the door, but every now and then,
I like
Comes
it.
out.
So as we're moving into the show, the question from the audience, and we always love the fact that you guys give us the questions. The questions from the audience came from Teresa Goss. We were able to film Teresa in Las Vegas, and Teresa's been doing this, Mike, for 30-some years. Is that what Teresa's been doing it?
Yeah, I think she's been doing in the industry, the broadcast media industry, for like 19 years, I think she said. We were interviewing,
Yeah. So the question comes from there because Teresa and I had something in common. We both had a speech impediment, but I didn't know it. We're talking to her, and usually a lisper can pick that up. I've talked about that so much on the show and from the pulpit, but I have a speech impediment, a lisp. And she had this gap in her tooth that she said she's had since she was young, but they didn't get it fixed. And but she just got it fixed. And she said that, she has a smile. And she said on one of her shows, and I think Mike, correct me on this one, but on one of her shows, she said that one of her guests complimented her smile. and she had said on the show, I believe, this is the first time somebody has said I have a beautiful smile.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And
That's cool.
If you don't remember, she also said that she had a lisp.
Yeah, she had a lisp, but and she's learning to talk again because this was closed up. So the question came from the audience: how do I overcome a insecurity?
Okay.
That's what it came from you guys, and I appreciate it because I can talk about it because, I was this guy that my wife knows it. And I've shared on the show before. They had always come in with this little machine, and they would come in to the classroom. This was back in the Stone Ages when the dinosaurs roamed the earth. When I went to elementary school, so they'd push this thing in and. They would get it, and all of my friends would go, "Hey, Tom, we'll see you in a month," because they would, pick up the fact that I couldn't hear out of this ear and I had a lisp. And so they would put me in special classes. So there was some insecurity.
It's changed so much, just so you know.
Yeah. I mean, I know you have said that. And that's,
For the good.
Right.
And that's encouraging to hear from educators because it did develop some insecurities for me. But I just kept pushing forward. That was something I never let it stop me from pushing forward. And I think that's the big thing. And I think as you're out there, if you do have an insecurity, overcoming it is just, I think taking a risk, putting yourself out there.
100%. Yeah, I have a speech impediment too. I was 4 or 5 years old. I have a stutter, and I have had a stutter my whole life. And I did a podcast about 6 years ago with a guy that is a stutterer as well, and he does like the National Stuttering Association, something like that. And I have a couple of videos on my YouTube. I'm not throwing that out there or anything,
But you should if you need to.
Yeah, no, but I talked
Andrew
about
Castaneda.
Yes, I talked about people that bullying people. The Lord blessed me that I was never bullied in school, high school, like that about stuttering. But I did the whole speech classes. I did the whole.
Too.
I went down south. I got a hearing aid. Tried to get a hearing aid. It worked, but it cost a fortune. My parents were going to throw all their money towards that, and then it worked. And then on the way home, it stopped working. And then I was like, I'm done with the speech classes. Done with everything. I'm going to try and learn on my own. And then ever since then, I've found little ways to get around it. Praying about it, just tapping my leg, my hand on my leg to get the word out a lot easier. But yeah, I mean, my speech has not got in the way of nothing with work or anything like that.
So and my wife knows probably one of my biggest, and I think the audience knows, and also the church, I have a hard time enunciating names because my speech impediment is also a brain function.
Right.
And when I get close to the name, I freeze.
Right.
And I'll stop and I'll enunciate it out, and usually it's not correct.
Yeah.
And
I remember you were saying a little bit ago about how things have changed in the years.
Yes.
With my, he's 5 now, or 6, 5. Sorry. He has a little speech impediment right now. Well, we think that but his speech is a little slow. So it was kind of weird. His teachers thought that he was in special ed because of his speech. So they put him in a special ed class, and it was a whole ordeal. But we got his ears, got the canal in it, or the tubes in his ears. There we go.
Yeah.
And it helped out a lot.
Oh, that's great.
And
yes.
You can kind of tell he was kind of insecure about it.
Right.
Because he wanted to talk like his brother, his bigger brother, and all his friends. But now it's starting to work a lot better now. I can tell.
Yeah.
A lot, praying about it a lot for him.
Yeah. Yeah, we see that a lot with kids and what it can do if they're not in a supportive environment, or if other kids are like, if kids would bully around us, they'd get.
I'd be afraid to.
Go too well.
Yeah, it would not. But I feel like we're in a small school that's really supportive of our kids with any sort of speech or whatever it may be.
What would they do for little Tommy?
You would now just leave the room for 20 minutes, real nonchalantly, and go work with the speech therapist, and then do exercises with him or her, and homework at home. Yeah. So it's not, they don't test you in front of, it's all it's private.
Very private.
Yeah, private and
A little more set up to deal with it, the whole child,
yeah, exactly.
than the problem.
Yes.
I always felt that they were looking at the problem versus
Well,
the kid.
Special education has developed so much over the years, and I'm not an expert. That's not my field, But I know just both of us in school you learn so much about special ed just in regular general ed. And like would you say the 80s and the 90s, they made a lot of progress in changing the laws and how special ed is dealt with. So
I like that.
Yeah.
So you're both teachers,
Yes.
yes,
educators, been that way for a lot of years.
yes.
Yep.
Yep. So we are bringing to our audience's attention Lucky's Rescue. Lucky's Rescue, helps us, and we partner with them in the fact that they have a rescue. They do horses, they do cats, and they do dogs. And today we have Teddy. Teddy is a cross with some Chihuahua in him, and I don't think Teddy is socially adapted. I think it just talks about him, and if you can read that for me, Andrew, what does it say? Does he get along with dogs and cats?
He's a male. He's okay with small dogs, and he's not tested with cats.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That
See,
means
my-
not cat friendly.
Not cat friendly.
We should do that. This is like we need to start testing these dogs with cats. I don't know what you would do with
Bring
it.
Rocky.
Yeah, there you go.
I could just throw Rocky in there and go, oh,
We might
not
get a
friendly.
little trouble about doing that. So maybe not.
Teasing. I'm teasing. We love Rocky. We love Rocky. But if you want to be able to go out and adopt Teddy or some of the other animals we've had on here, just go out to lucky'srescue.com and you'll be able to see a wonderful website. And Meredith and John, personal friends of ours.
Yes.
And they do a great job, and they've got some stories where actually, I think, Mr. Producer, aren't we going to go out and do a live on-site?
Yeah, we're
visit?
working on something, and we're gonna do some videos straight from the ranch. And
JEH Ranch.
yeah. Bring that out and show you some animals, and
We might cat test some of these dogs.
oh yeah,
right?
that'd be, we'll bring your cat.
Yeah.
Bring your cat to
and the
work
horses.
today.
The horses are a cool story.
Yeah, they are. Real good story. So there again, if you want to be an adoptive parent, they have a closed colony, which means that they bring their dogs in. They don't expose them anywhere else, give them all their shots. And when they get adopted, they've been there. So, right on. So Tiffany and Kelsey, we learned about a business, which I already knew about, and your husband very aware of. It's kind of,
Taking over our houses.
Become a thing.
It is. Well, for our audience, Tiffany and Kelsey have, Tiffany was Kelsey's, did you teach her English?
I was her English teacher her freshman year in high school.
Yeah.
Yes. And then we reconnected when she came to work. You were working at the church.
Yes.
And then you migrated over to the school somehow.
Yeah,
as a teacher.
I worked at the church for a few years and then decided I wanted to go into teaching. So
Yep.
I went and got a job in a public school. And then I remember you coming to me and saying, we have a position for a long-term sub. Would
I
you
remember
like
that.
it? And I said, yes.
A lot of people don't realize I used to be the principal.
Yeah.
Our producer realizes I used to be a producer.
Well, and okay,
principal.
so this is really cool. Kelsey was our daughter Tessa's second grade teacher.
Yes.
Wow.
So that starts to really,
It messes with
been
your
around
It
in our
messes
head.
with your head.
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
if you
Known
do
your
that.
family a long time.
yeah.
It
So
has.
our families have been joined, yes, for
yeah.
quite a while.
So you don't have to look at her. What's it like working for Mrs. Touchstone?
We work together.
Why did Mrs. Touchstone answer that
Well,
question?
let me say this. I worked for her for 10
Yeah, it
plus
was 10 years.
at the private school. And then when she went to public, then I went to the same school
Yeah.
that she is at now. So,
She recruited you.
yeah.
Just come out and try it.
But it's great working with her.
Oh, I love
Yeah.
that.
Well, that's how I feel about her.
She's
I
an
know.
amazing
Yeah.
leader and she's a natural. And it's just,
And
That's awesome.
Kelsey's an amazing teacher.
She
I'm
is.
just going to brag on her.
Oh,
so
I know
we're
she
doing
is.
a literacy intervention program, and she is just running with this, and I'm just
If you didn't pick up the show with Tiffany, Tiffany is the superintendent out at Elk Hill School District, and Kelsey is the intervention specialist at Elk
Yep.
Hill School.
Yep.
They're quite the team, and they are. They're just transforming, education. I know that personally. But you have a business, so if I talk to my friend Dave, would the business be starting to overcome your house?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I have but you know what? He has his area that
I
he gets to put
know.
his things, and I have mine.
I
And,
know. We
mine's
went-
starting to overflow.
We went to Costco. We picked up another
Rocket
industrial
shelf.
shelf. I go, where's this coming? She goes, Kelsey's bringing things over.
Oh
Yes.
man.
But you know, he loves it. He likes to see what we bring home and find, and so he's enjoying it.
Well, tell us about what you guys going on.
Okay, well, I would say it started as a hobby, but
did.
Kelsey and I both work a lot. Okay, so
If you guys want to roll some pictures too, you guys can.
we both deal with health issues, if
Yes,
it's
you
okay
do.
to say.
Absolutely.
And so for us, this is just like something that brings us joy. We have fun. It's
You do.
exciting, and so we just started rolling with it, and it's just taken off.
This weekend we were going to sleep in, Kelsey, and Tiffany goes, Kelsey's going out. I have to go out too. so she got,
Sorry about that.
yeah, yeah. Well, sometimes she says, I don't want to get out of bed and go to work. And I go, honey, you're the boss. You have to go to work. But when she was rolling for your guys' business, she was up
Yeah.
and out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's easy to get
Yeah.
and do that.
So I'll just essentially say it's we kind of are a collector of items, and we like to find the right person for those items. Yeah. So what that means is we go to estate sales and other places that sell things and find treasures.
You do. I've tried to help them, Andrew,
Or
and I don't think I help them. I think I hurt them.
yeah, I was
I
gonna-
hear what they're doing, and I'll do something. I'll bring it home. Tiffany goes, well, that might sell.
Yeah. I mean, you that, and then the storage units probably you guys can go check out, maybe.
We haven't.
We haven't got
we
there
haven't
yet.
done that
Okay.
yet.
Sorry, Tom. Sorry
No,
about
that's
I
next
know.
level.
No.
Thank you for the
Yeah.
suggestion.
You're
though.
welcome.
I will
Sorry,
say, Kelsey,
David.
Kelsey has an eye for things.
She does.
For art. So we're getting more into make us exclusive items. And so she has an eye for art, and we love vintage. So I don't know what they can see up there, but yeah.
There's-
Some of the,
there's
the
a
items
Seahawk
that we
jacket.
found.
Okay, the Seahawks jackets from the 80s, that was at a yard, it was an estate
estate,
sale,
yeah.
but not professionally done. And so, yeah, we made a lot of money on that. And it's so cool because
Vintage.
it's vintage, and there's usually someone on the other side of it that's buying it that there's a really special reason why
Yeah.
they're
There's
buying it.
always collectors of everything.
Right.
Everything.
Yes.
Every little tiny thing. There's collectors for.
Well, what they've done is I've noticed this, and if you're out there and you try to underbid these girls, that's a tough gig. I see it like my wife at home. But what I've seen is the fact that they do reunite people with some things,
Right.
Yeah.
and they have some cool stories. You got a story you want to share with that?
Yeah, go ahead, Kelsey, you share. Which one do you want to share?
Oh gosh. Well, I know there was a couple things that we have found and put out there, and then after we've sold it and they receive it, Tiffany will get messages just saying like, "Oh my goodness, I had one of these when I was younger," or
Yeah.
we got a message from someone. I guess their mom had given them. It was like an antique cheese, something for
yeah.
the kitchen, and she had bought it, and she said, "My mom had given me one like this, and I wanted to find one for my brother too." And so this is exactly the same one.
And she's like, we're making Sunday morning breakfast this
Yeah.
weekend up in San Francisco.
Yeah.
And we're like, oh, we're going to go have breakfast with these people.
That's awesome.
Oh yeah, they've become friends.
Well, it's awesome how you guys turn something that you love into something that you guys are actually doing 100% with your full-time job as well. With my wife, she turned her hobby of making cookies into a full-time business now.
That's great. I
right.
love that.
She
So
started
you're
out,
experiencing this too.
Mike.
So
Yes.
instead of having bedrooms
They're
that are
good.
ate up, you're eating up product. Is that
No, I don't like sweets, so I don't
Oh.
eat cookies.
What a-
I'm not. So with her thing, it started out as she made it for I think a friend's or one of her sister's birthday, just out of the blue, and then started making more, and then she put it on her social media, and then it blew up.
That's
100%.
cool.
just
I love
organic? That was the
Yeah.
girls'.
Yeah, she done a pop-up event last week over at Grace Baptist Church, and she sold more. It was like she got the call like the day before. Hey, you're gonna do this. She's up to like 4:00 in the morning making all these cookies, where she had to be there at 6:00 in the morning.
Oh, my goodness.
And
And did she just decorate them like really out and
yeah,
just really have fun
100%
with it?
for birthdays, for everything. She's sending some to Texas in different states. She'll send them
That's
out.
cool.
And like she does those. And I don't know if you guys know about the cocoa bombs. You know about those?
Yeah.
Kelsey.
Y-
Yes.
Yeah, she makes all
I like
those.
to bake too.
Yeah, she makes all of those cocoa bombs and whatnot. It's like hot cocoa.
Okay.
basically.
Okay,
Like
I know what you're talking
like hot
about. Yeah.
chocolate.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she loves that, but she's up at the wee hours of the morning doing it all.
So your house smells fresh bakery all the time.
100%.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
is that like a bath bomb but with cocoa in it?
Exactly, and it has
And you drink
marshmallows
it.
in it and everything.
All you do is add hot
Hot
milk,
Hot
or
milk.
something,
Hot
and
milk.
boom.
So you take a
Yeah.
bath and then you drink it.
You can if you want. Yeah.
Yeah. Or drink
What?
it while you're taking a bath.
Do you take milk baths?
Apparently now I'm going to take hot chocolate bath.
Hey, tell your wife to make several hundred of those, and our producer will enjoy that.
So,
Okay.
Kelsey and I, though, I think too, what's fun is like we kind of feed off of each other's strengths. Like Kelsey, she's our sorcerer. She has the eye, you know, and she finds some crazy stuff.
So do you find it like on social media, like people what they're looking for, or do you just kind of know what they're looking for? Like, is there anything like trending or anything like that?
Because we're both educators,
Yeah.
I think we like to do research
Yes.
and
They
we
do.
like to learn a lot of things. So
Right.
this has given us opportunity to learn some of those markets that people are out there looking for things.
Right.
And she has like a photographic memory, so she can see a label or like a piece of glass or art, and she'll remember what that looks like. So if we're out, Kelsey remembers, you know.
I didn't know that about you. 'Cause why am I just hearing this now?
But she'll be like, that's this and this. I mean, she just bought a beautiful vase. That's
Tiffany
worth
wants to
a lot.
sell your vase. Do you know that?
No.
she's keeping the vase. But, we had a really pretty piece of artwork from a popular artist a while back that we sold, and we've had another bowl that a lady back east bought, and she told us, I would have paid you guys 3 times as much for it. I love it, and just seeing that, like, I don't know. We have some vintage elves, and well, we like the stories behind them.
And Tiffany's great at researching and learning those things.
So, just a fun fact: the vintage elves were called the Hugging Knee Elves. They were popular in the 50s, and they were post World War II in an effort. They were all being made in Japan, and it was an effort of the United States to form relationships after World War II with Japan. So they manufactured these all in Japan, and that's where Buddy the Elf was modeled after.
Oh, really?
So it was these little elf figures. So we just recently sold those, and those were from one of our first estate sales that we hit in the very beginning of our business.
I know Tiffany will come home and she'll say, "What do you think about this?" You know, I'm like, "I don't know, just look like a jacket." And she goes, "No, it's not just a jacket." And feel it. And it's, you know, I mean, but I love what you guys are doing because it really, truly does. Because one of the things that I love about them is that they have both overcome illness. Can I say that fairly?
Yes.
And we know that God's moved in both your lives with your illness.
Definitely.
And now they've taken something they love and they've gone out. So now you have customers in Italy.
Yes, we have.
And,
customers
Wow.
in Italy.
and they have asked the girls to look for some things for them. So
we're
now they're
exporting a
turning,
little.
huh?
We're exporting a little.
Yeah, sure. Exporting a little. You hear that laugh?
Yes.
I'm not sure. I'm not
I
sure to be-
understand that laugh.
I'm not sure. Should I worry about that?
Yeah, you should.
Okay, so I want to
Oh, she's
tell you
confessing
how
something. She's confessing
No,
something
no, this is
hot
good.
off the press.
we know that we have to glorify God in what we
Yes.
do. And
Yes.
so
Yes.
there's something that Kelsey, this was something on Kelsey's heart of what she does with the packages.
So just, thinking in everything that we do, how can we glorify God, right? Even if this is our hobby and it's not, a ministry, how can we serve God? And so, every time we get a label, part of my job is to box it up, put the label on. And so I just thought, what, I'm going to look at this name and I'm going to put my hand on the label. I'm going to pray over the person who we're sending it to. And I'm going to do it. So I did it. And it was amazing, the things that the Holy Spirit put on my heart from the second that I put my hand on that label. And every time I do it, it's not like this generic thing that happens. It's like God just puts very specific things on my heart for these people. Like sometimes I'll just feel like I need to pray for them against depression, or I pray for salvation, or pray. One time I just felt so very strongly that this person needed wisdom in making an important decision that day. And so I don't know, it's just
Well, I didn't know
we
that
do.
about
Yeah.
that. This is really inspiring to me because I'm that thinker guy where I would like to know.
Oh, if
How
we
did
only knew
that-
the other
Yeah.
side of it.
But, you know, isn't that something where, you know, as your listening audience, you can have an effect on people's life and you don't have to know the results. I love that, Kelsey, because you're praying over something, believing that God's going to move through this prayer. And that's something that where a lot of people say, how do I serve God? You're serving God. Pastor Ron always says that Jesus' burden is easy, his yoke is light. You just prove that example. And as you're praying, you're feeling God move in your
Yeah,
heart.
she has like crazy stuff on her heart, like the stuff that like random. Like I'm like, how are you getting that? She's like, I don't know. I just it must be the Holy Spirit.
I love that they this is what I do believe, that is I like to be around younger people. I like to be around relationships, and I've seen you guys grow, but it never has to stop.
No.
You know, you can have fun, you can partner with people, and that's why it's so important to be in a relationship like we spoke in a Timothy and Paul relationship where you're both learning from each other. So it is. I mean, to me, that's what life's about.
Yeah.
You know, and as you guys have just had this relationship, I think it's admirable.
Oh,
Yes.
Tiffany's been there for me in some
Well, so have you. You have too.
Well,
worst moments and the best ones.
yes, but I think through and through, and I think that's something that God has shared between you two.
Yeah.
You know, Tiffany's always believed, Kelsey, that in 2 Corinthians chapter 1, verse 4, it says, God will comfort you in all your afflictions so you can comfort others with what God comforted you with. And I do believe you've adopted that same thing. Because there's been several
He
people
has.
that I've known that I've sent you to.
Yes.
I've said, hey, I know, guys like Kelsey, you want to use, you know, what you've been through to help somebody else, and you've been like right on it.
Yeah.
And, you know, and my wife's the same thing. So,
Yeah.
it is.
That's awesome.
Anything else you girls would like to say? I mean, I think we have 2 mud runs from you guys.
Oh yeah, those were when the Volksloft was around. We did the Volksloft together. We were always up for an adventure.
Yeah.
You were.
Is it the
Volksloft
one that's
and-
over off of Standard?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
And the top picture is, gosh, way back in the day at one of our events at Valley, and one with Kelsey, where another girl and I are kissing her on the cheek. That was her 30th birthday.
Yep.
And the one with the sunglasses on and her in the sweater was today. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
As we were working on our business.
Our business.
I love it.
Our hobby.
Yeah, our hobby that's become a business.
I love it.
That's awesome.
I love
Anyway,
it.
that's a little bit of our story. We could go on for hours, but
You
we have a
could.
lot of fun.
Anything you'd like to leave our audience with?
I just say if there's something that you love to do or have a passion, just go for it. Do
Yes.
it. Experiment with it. You never know. I mean, what's the worst? That it doesn't work out. So
Yeah. Yep.
And just be up for anything. And
Yeah.
Tiffany came to me and she's like, I want to try this, and I think it would be fun to do together. Okay, let's do it.
yeah.
And I think just like you went back at the beginning, you know, we've known each other a long time,
Yep.
and just relationships.
It
Yes.
is complete relationships.
Those
100%.
relationships.
Yep.
I love it.
Absolutely.
Girls, thank you both for being
Thank you.
on our
Thank you very
show.
much.
Andrew,
you.
thank you for
Wow.
sitting in.
Nice
You're a
getting
great.
to know you, Andrew.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
you're a
been
great.
awesome.
You're a great co-host. So I see that you'll be doing a lot more.
Yes, sir.
You will be. So I do want to give a shout out to our producer Mike Harvey, and today our technical director is Nathaniel Tweed, and there again Andrew Castaneda
Yes, sir.
is our co-host. MLH Solutions and Productions and Distributing Marketing. Want to thank those, and also our creative consultants Tessa and Taylor
Yeah,
Touchstone.
they're always telling you
They are.
what you need
Well,
to do.
Explain that to the audience.
They're our daughters. They're giving.
I'm going to turn my mic off.
They just give him the view of what 20-somethings, what they'd be interested in.
Do they not boss me around?
They boss you around.
Okay.
100%.
I'll come in with something new, and Michael will go, they've talked to you. And I go,
Yeah.
they have.
Yeah.
So,
I do the
It-
same thing to Mike all the time.
Do
yeah.
you?
Yeah, it's great. We need that. We need that youth in our life.
yeah.
Keeps us-
Nathaniel, is a picture on you guys. Turn that picture on him.
Unfortunately, we can't at the moment.
Oh, you can't. So, Nathaniel,
Yep.
got a question. Don't
Another
look
one
at
of our students.
Yes,
Yeah.
Nathaniel Tweed.
Yep.
Don't look at him, Nathaniel. Does he listen to you?
Wait, what?
When you give Mike advice, does he listen to you?
Some of the time.
Your job's on the line.
We had a show about that, Mike. So, hey, we want to thank you guys for watching Lunch Break today. Have fun with it. I always do.
Subscribe and
Yeah, it's been
Yes.
awesome.
listen
Yeah.
for that
So
bell
awesome.
notification.
Yes, please like us, share us.
Like,
You
share.
guys have a
Like,
great day
share.
today. God bless.
Bye.
Bye bye.